All right, so we got other Sean with us already. AZ, as always, thank you for showing up, buddy. Appreciate it. Templar Fidelis, haven't seen you in a while, man. How are we doing? Good to see everybody. How has your week's been? What are we up to? What are we drinking, guys? I'm actually going to start the night with nothing fancy, just a Yingling Black and Tan. Haven't had a beer in a while, so yeah. What is everybody else drinking? What we got going on? Good to see the familiar faces as always. Putting on my Canadian tuxedo. I don't even know what that means, but sure, why not? Hey, Commandante, what's up, my brother? Good to see you guys. We got all our Western folks showing up, our Texan and Arizona guys. Cool, man. Well, as the description says, so all week I have been doing blind tastings at home to narrow down. This is my high-tech keeping track of device here. Yeah. Narrowing down the whiskey of the year. And so tonight we're going to do another round of that. Hey, all right, got Adam in the chat. Thanks, man. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Oh, jeans with a jean jacket is a Canadian tuxedo. Right on. Yeah. I'm actually wearing neither, unfortunately. But in any case, so tonight's lineup, we got some Puncher's Chance barrel proof store pick. We have Larceny B521. We got, I know this is not a release from this year, but it was the first time I got it, so I'm putting it in there. The 1792 single barrel. And then Starlight, what is this? The double oak barrel strength, and that is also a store pick from Liquor Barn. So that will be the lineup tonight for the, one of those will make it into the lineup for Whiskey of the Year. Possibly. This is actually round 5. So, of course, I'll have to narrow it down to 4 eventually. So maybe tonight's winner won't make it in. We'll have to see. And the camera is not focusing. There we go. All right. So let's see what we got in chat. So we got saw up here. Went too far. What are we drinking? I'm going to crack open a Great Northern Rye. Cool. With a little bitter to take the edge off. Nice. About to pour some Buffalo Trace over here. Cool. And drinking some Evan Williams 1783. And all right, still living in the woods with us. Okay, I'll run through real quick again. Still living in the woods. So Puncher's Chance, barrel proof, store pick. Larceny B521, not a store pick, just the B521. Again, as I said, not a release from this year, but first time I've had it. So the 1792 single barrel. And then Starlight's Distillery double oak barrel strength store pick. So that will be the lineup. We'll get to that here pretty shortly. But glad everybody could make it out. And my camera is not focused again. Awesome. It's even worse than before. It can't even focus on my hand. Oh, we're off to a great start. Let me try something. Sometimes this works. Oh, there we go. Okay, cleared up. All right, so AZ says, I was out of 101, got some Makers 101 instead. Fantastic. It is, man. You know, like, everything outside of the standard Makers is awesome. I love the Makers line. It's one of my favorite lines. Just standard Makers does nothing for me, but everything else is great. In fact, I have a strong feeling that a couple of Makers will make it into the lineup for a Whiskey of the Year. Pretty sure. So what is new with everybody? How has your week's been? I'm sure AZ has probably done some hiking. You know, I don't know much about you guys as far as like what are your hobbies outside of whiskey. So you guys know that I hunt. I also do a little bit of gaming here and there. Not much anymore because of this whole YouTube thing. I do construction for work. That's not really a hobby at all, but I enjoy it. Listen to audiobooks a lot. Always trying to learn new stuff. What are you guys into, though? What are you guys? I know a little bit about Adam since he's my next door neighbor, but otherwise, don't know much about you guys. So feel free to share whatever. Let's see here. Got Makers 101 for 32 and change. Very nice. Yeah, that is an excellent price. Around here, it's usually $39.99. That's what I'm paying. Never seen it less than that, actually. So 32 is a steal. Oh, okay. I got you. So, yeah. So that's just the way that Heaven Hill does their lineup. So same with the Elijah Craig barrel proofs, same number series. So this is B521. So that's batch B. So the second batch. The 5 stands for the month it comes out in. So that is May. There we go. And then 21 is just the year. So for instance, like A121, that's batch A, the first batch. The 1 means it comes out in January, and then 21 again is the year. And that's how Heaven Hill always does their, well, of course, the Larceny barrel proof and then the Elijah Craig barrel proof. The thing is, though, is that even though it says 5, so it was released in May, I didn't see it till September. So there is some delay in distribution. So even though, like, I still have yet to see any of the C921 batches, which, so that's a September release, supposed to be. Now, I know things got thrown off a little bit because of the strike at Heaven Hill, but still, you hardly ever see them the month they actually get released in. At least I don't here in Kentucky. Well, Southern Kentucky, which is strange since I'm like 2 hours from the distillery. Anyone know what's up with Eagle Rare? Can't find it within 3 states. I don't know. I never see it, so that just seems pretty regular to me. I'd say probably the best way to go about getting it is the distillery, but I forget where you live, Templar, so forgive me. Good to see you all again. Yes, I agree. Good to see everybody. Yeah, 1783 is a great way to start the night for sure. Nice, easy sipper to get yourself going in whiskey for the night. I can find, yeah, that's about right for Eagle Rare these days, even though it should be like 30. It even came with, oh yeah, it does. So the $32 version, that's got to be the red box. There's also a black and gold box out there. That's the 1 liter version. I think that one's more like 50, but I'm gonna pick that one up next. I think just to have it because it's a cool looking box. Let's see what else we got going on. Anybody like the Evan Williams single barrel? Yes, me. In fact, I've had Evan Williams single barrels that I think are better than Blanton's. I think they're better than. I actually had a Evan Williams single barrel. It's gone now, but that I enjoyed more than this single barrel. I feel like a lot of single barrels, like we talked about in the past, they tend to be kind of. It's like they go after the kind of more bland, easy sipping profile, I guess, to appeal to the masses. So not really my thing. I like a little more boldness. Still never tasted it. What do we? I can't remember. Oh, Eagle Rare. Yeah. And Idaho. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'd imagine. I don't know what distribution is like up there, but just so you know, Templar, as I said earlier, it's not anybody better here in Kentucky. I maybe see it once a year at the right price, and then I'll just grab it just to have it. But I'm not that big a fan, so to me, it's not worth hunting. I think there's better things on the shelves. But anyway, I understand everybody has that one bottle they have to have. Haven't tried it yet, but I will at some point. Yeah, it's it's not a bottle I would like kill myself to get for sure. If you can get it at retail and not have to like search for hours, then that's great. But I can definitely live with that. Soda Total Wine is very expensive. Yeah, usually Total Wine is, of course, I guess it's different state to state, but around here, Total Wine doesn't do crazy upcharging. They're usually maybe $10 over retail at most, but they're usually pretty fair. But I guess things vary. My introduction to whiskey was Evan Williams Green Label on the bottom shelf at the local store. Yeah, that's the 80 proofer. Man, that's yeah, it's okay. I think I definitely prefer the black label, and I think even, of course, the Bottle and Bond's even better. But that's not a terrible way to get into whiskey for sure. I mean, there isn't really a bad Evan Williams in my opinion. So it's definitely better than starting out with like Jim Beam. That would not. If I had started with Jim Beam, then I probably wouldn't have ever got into whiskey. I had Eagle only once a while back. I haven't. Well, if I could read, it has stuck in my memory, and I'd like to know why. Oh, okay. So you're trying to find it to. I see. Well, so I have two bottles, Templar, and they definitely vary. That's the thing. Now, even though Eagle Rare is not a single barrel, the way that Buffalo Trace goes through doing its bottling, it's pretty similar to a single barrel. So at least from what I understand, unless this has changed, the way that they do it is they put one barrel on the line and they run that barrel till it's empty, and then they hook up another barrel and then start running that through the line. And so they can't call it a single barrel because they don't clear the lines between barrels. So, some Eagle Rares could be a mix of two barrels, but for the most part, they're single barrel. And so you get quite a bit of variance with the Eagle Rare product. So you may have had a really good one, but the next one might be completely different. For instance, the two that I have, one is very cherry, like kind of black cherry forward, and the other one is very grape, like a medicinal grape, which I don't really care for. I like the cherry one much better. So that's why for me it's kind of, I don't know, it's whatever. Like all single barrel products, they can vary so much that I'd rather have a more consistent product that I know I'm going to like every time. Saw the Evan Williams single barrel at Total Wines, good price. My bad. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I mean Evan Williams is usually, I don't know, like $25. Of course, apparently everything's cheaper in Arizona, so I don't know. You're probably paying like 15. I don't know what your price is, but I'm sure it's cheaper. But around here, it's like the cheapest I can find is like 25, 26 for Evan Williams single barrel. I agree with other Sean. The Seans are in agreement that Eagle Rare is overhyped, like most everything at Buffalo Trace Distillery. Yep. I would say the only thing, well, it's still overhyped, but the only thing I think is worth the chase in the budget line is the E.H. Taylor Bottle and Bond, the small batch. I think that is a good bottle if you can get it for 45. I definitely is not worth. I actually just saw 3. When was it? When me and the wife were in the next town over. I guess it was Sunday. No, what the heck is today? Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. And saw 3 different ones. Actually, no, 4. 3 at one store for 70, and then another one at another store for 80. And I passed on all of them because that just irritates me when it's almost double what the price should be. It was horrible. I'm surprised I pursued it. Lesson learned. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it? I mean, the green label is just it's fine if you're trying to get somebody into whiskey and they really are scared of the burn. All right, bye, babe. I'll see you tonight. But otherwise, yeah, I think go black label or it just start them with a white label. Just start them with a white label, and either they're going to like whiskey or they're not. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that all the information you've gotten from all of us tonight, Templar, helps in your making choices to find whiskey. I don't know that I would. To me, that's not the bottle to chase, Eagle Rare. Especially when there's such good stuff on the shelf all the time. Like, I mean, I know everybody wants to have that experience like one time or just say that you own a bottle or whatever the case. But, I mean, there's so many great things on the shelf all the time now that, I mean, whiskey competition these days is insane. So, lots of distilleries are putting out good stuff. One of the more expensive here is Rare Breed. Oh, that's right. Yeah. But that's like the one bottle that I wouldn't mind paying more for. Like, honestly, the fact that it's only $45 is surprising because it's, for what it is, it's so good. And it's only $45 and you can find it everywhere all the time. So I'm surprised that Wild Turkey has not increased the price because it really deserves to be more than that. Just don't tell them. Total Wines had OGD 114 for $19.99. That's ridiculous. It's $10 cheaper here. So I'm in the state where it's made, and I have to pay 50% more. That's just stupid. I never understand the economics of how you can send it to another state and charge less money. We had it in stock here as 30. Yeah, if you're still talking about Eagle Rare Templar, then yeah. I mean, I can still get it for 30, but like I said, I might see it on the shelf once a year for that price. Normally, it's at what I usually refer to as whiskey museums because their prices are so high that no one's ever going to buy them. So it's just a museum showing off all the bourbon they have. No, it's not fine. It's terrible. I would never introduce anyone to whiskey with anything with a plastic bottle. That's fair. Yeah. Like I said, I think the safer route is just give them the bottle and bond and forget the green label. They don't even hardly sell the green label around here anymore. I'd almost forgotten it existed. And then I was in Tennessee in a store and I saw the green label. And at first, like, because it had been so long since I'd seen it, it'd been like 2 or 3 years since I'd seen the green label. At first, I was like, oh, does Evan Williams have a new bottle out? And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's right. It's just the regular old green label. You'd start a black market operation. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to get people to pay the shipping to make any money. The shipping bottles is expensive because liquids are heavy. Like, I mean, so me and Charles, as you guys know, we've exchanged samples, and those aren't even full bottles. And still, like, to send stuff to California, it's like if I send them 3 samples, those are 2-ounce samples, so 6 ounces of liquid in 3 little jars, and like the smallest box I can fit them in, and it's like $16. So yeah, you'd have to convince your black market operation buyers to pay all the shipping. Oh, Legent, right. So if I remember right, that is a Jim Beam product. I could get that pretty much any time. I just haven't. There's so many that I need to buy still. I will put that on the list though. Actually, I'm gonna write it down so don't forget. I don't even know what the price range is on a Legent. I feel like it's around the $40, $50 mark, which that's, I mean, so just reminders. So right now we're doing the rye thing. We're getting all the budget ryes out of the way. That will be done by end of the year. We'll have our budget rye winner. And then first of the year, we're going to have the whiskey of the year video, which this is part of what we're doing tonight. The A121 video comes out tomorrow. And then we're going to get back into the budget bourbons around the $30 price point, like best budget bourbon around $30. And that series will finish up probably like into February. And then I'm going to do best bottles under 50. So Legent will probably be in that mix, Templar. So I hope that's not too far off for you. But that's kind of what I have planned. I paid $52 for Rare Breed, but no buyer's remorse. Yep, that is a killer bottle. I always have two. As soon as one runs out, I go buy another one. Yeah, the 101 is awesome. So let me finish this beer up here, and then I'm going to get some whiskey poured because I'm already 20-something minutes in, and I haven't had any whiskey, so. All right, good enough. So, yeah, can't wait to try that one. I think I want to get the cast first, though. Have you had Maker's Cask yet? Yes, and it's very good. I personally, Sean, I personally prefer the Maker's 46 cast strength. That's like one of my favorite bottles, not just of Maker's Mark, but in general. Adam is asking what I'm drinking. So I was drinking a Yuengling Black and Tan, which is nothing special. Just something I grabbed at the store kind of on impulse yesterday because I haven't had a beer in a while. But now it's time to get into our whiskey war for the night. So let's do this. All right. We start with A. So A, just for sake of transparency, excuse me, A will be, you see that? A will be Puncher's Chance. Get the labels lined up here. All right, write that down. Puncher's Chance. B, where's my B glass? You can see that? I need to rewrite. I guess you can see it. B will be Larceny B521. So that's easy enough to remember. B521 is B. I'm pouring the same amount so that I can. Yeah, it's close. Mix them up. No. Okay. C. No, that's D. Where's my C glass? C. And you like my where I put my letters? That's duct tape. Yeah, we're real fancy around here. Just throw some duct tape on the bottom of your Glen and write your letter on there, and you're good to go. Make sure I got. Yeah. So C is 1792 single barrel. If the camera will focus. Nope, not doing it. Okay. Anyway, you guys can see it. And then last is the Starlight Distillery, the double oak barrel proof here, going in glass D. Find the camera, focus. There we go. Glass D, Starlight Distillery, double oak. That's about right. And I'm spilling. Whatever. I'll wipe that off so there's no cheating, so I can't see the whiskey running down the glass. All right, let me write all these down. So B is B521, C was 1792, and D is Starlight. So that is what I'm drinking, to answer your question fully, Adam. Real quick, let me hit up the chat here, and then we'll spin these things and get into it. I have not had the 101, but I have not, but 101 is my sweet spot. It is so much better than regular makers. Have not even tried 46. Well, 46 is awesome. I love the whole 46 line. I love the regular 46. I love the 46 cast strength. Just good stuff. All right. Well, mega cheers to everybody, or whatever the case. Got 4 whiskeys here. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 101 is excellent, neat, good stuff. I covet your larceny. Yeah, so real quick before I get into this whiskey war. So this bottle has a bit of a story. So me and the wife were coming back from visiting family in Florida, and we were stopping in Macon, Georgia, just for some lunch. And I'm always whiskey hunting. Like anytime I'm in a place that I don't normally shop, I'm always looking out for liquor stores on my phone, Googling closest liquor stores and stuff like that. So we were hitting up this little Chinese spot that was recommended on Yelp and all that stuff. It's supposed to be the best Chinese in Macon, Georgia. So we're driving to that, and I see this cool little kind of hole in the wall. They sold cigars and liquor. So we stop in there, and there's a cool old guy behind the counter. We got to talking about whiskey. He's a big bourbon guy. He had a few different store picks he was trying to sell me. But then as I'm walking around the store, I see this Larceny V521, which I had not seen at all. Well, I'll take that back. I'd seen it 2 times. Both times it was 150 plus. One time it was 200. The other time it was 150. Actually, I think Adam, ASP3, I think he was with me one of the times when I saw the 150 bottle. So, yeah. So finally find it at this store in Macon, Georgia. The guy wanted 80, but after I'd talked to him for like 20 minutes and we were sharing bourbon hunting stories and stuff. And so I said, look, I know that this is a hard bottle to find, but can you work with me here? I said, would you take 70 for it? He said, yeah, sure. He's like, I can tell you really love whiskey. And so, yeah, got the bottle for 70, which is as close to MSRP as you can get on that bottle. I think the actual MSRP is 65, but I've never seen any of the Larceny barrel proofs or Elijah Craig barrel proofs for 65. So I was very happy with 70. Drinking makers have a Knob Creek glass. Is that legal? Yeah. So funny enough, I've been collecting gift box sets because it's that time of year. So I now have a Knob Creek set. I have a Maker set. I have a Larceny set, which I didn't even know that Larceny had a gift box set, but got that. What's the other one I have? Bardstown. I think I have a Bardstown set. And Woodford's is next on the list. Of course, I have a Jack Daniel's set. I've had that for years. Let's see here. Let me catch up on chat, and then we're going to start drinking. Running low on all my barrel proofs, so I'm sipping cheaper stuff tonight. Yeah, I mean, normally I don't drink this many barrel proofs in one night. So, my reading abilities will probably start failing me earlier than normal, but it'll be fun. Larceny was 175 at my local. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty typical, unfortunately. The only way I've had that is at a restaurant. Yeah, I mean, they're really hard to find. Disappointing. I hope that Heaven Hill increases the number of barrels they're putting out for the Larceny barrel proof line because I really enjoy it. So, in fact, I have a feeling it will win tonight. We'll see. MSRP here is 45, 49. Man, I cannot read already. It's not going to be a good night, guys. My reading is already terrible, and I haven't really started drinking. 49.95 for Larceny barrel proof? That is crazy. Yeah, I've never seen it anywhere near that. Yes, exactly. That's the Esh glass set is the one I'm after, AC. Drink your water. Yeah, true. The thing is, this beer was the first thing I've had all day. What's the percentage on it? It's like, it can't be hardly anything. Where's the alcohol percentage? It has to be on here legally. I don't know. It's probably like 4 or 5. whatever the heck. Yeah, the Knob Creek glasses are nice. Mine, some have the Knob Creek thing on the side. Mine are on the bottom, which I actually prefer. So that way when you're sipping, you see it. That's kind of cool. I have to get some gift sets for Christmas present soon. Yeah, I mean, I don't do the Christmas present thing. I just buy them for myself. I love rocks glasses because when I'm not like doing stuff for the channel, like I don't drink out of Glen's normally. I either drink out of my Libby's glasses or rocks glasses because Glen's are just, I don't know, they're kind of, they make you feel like dainty and they're too fancy. Which idea for the channel, I'm thinking about first of the year switching over to the Libby's glasses and just doing away with the Glen's, even on reviews. So you guys let me know what you think about that idea, because I'm kind of tired of the Glen's. Oh, well, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I kind of hunt. Of course, I'm always hunting for whiskey. So I go to, 5, 6, 7 stores a week. So I get to see a lot of them. But yes, this is my first year seeing the Larceny set. So I had to buy that one. Try Larceny Barefoot with friends. Definitely tasty, but no way. No, it's not worth that. I think in the review of B520, when I said I would pay something like 100 to 110, that would be like my max, and I'm still sticking by that. Might be able to get these gift sets for less than the price of the. Yeah, that's why I always buy them, because it's basically free glasses or whatever's in the gift set, because it's usually the same price as the bottle. So yeah, just might as well. And it's always something I'm going to buy anyway. Like I'm always going to have a Knob Creek 9-year. I'm always going to have a Woodford Reserve. I'm always going to have like a Maker's Mark. I'm always going to have and there's Maker's 46 gift sets out now as well, so which I'm going to get. Always going to have a Larceny on hand. So yeah, I mean, you might as well get the gift sets. Let's see here. Just about caught up on chat, and I'm going to start drinking. But it works. I got rocks glasses, and I use them all the time. Glen's, yeah, exactly. Glen's, the only upside to Glen's is that they do help you with nosing notes. Like you get more out of the nose on a Glen. It's the only reason I use them. Otherwise, like these things are just stupid. I feel the same way about Glen's. They're great for nosing, but I don't care for the way I feel. Exactly. For a nice heavy bottom, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because look how tiny this thing is in my hand. I can wrap my fingers all the way around it just about. It's just, yeah, they're just stupid little dainty glasses. I feel like I should be dressed way fancier when I'm holding these things. Very nice, AZ. Have you seen the Glenlivet version of Glen's? They're wider bottom than regular Glen's. I feel okay. Yeah, well, see, I still prefer the Libby's glass because they're just like a fat Glen. So everything about them they're wider at every single point. And they still have the tulip shape, but they're like this wide instead of like a Glen. And it holds like a more normal amount of whiskey, I guess, in the base. Oh, beer burp. Hang on, we get Specs, and Specs have gift sets year-round, as well as salted crickets. Oh, okay. Hangover cures and meat cheese boards. Very cool. If Chuck Norris came into your house and asked for whiskey, would you get? No, definitely not. He's getting a rocks glass. I think that's the only glass that you're allowed to serve Chuck Norris whiskey in. And I'm certain that Chuck Norris doesn't mix his whiskey. He probably, I don't know what the highest proof whiskey is out there. I've had some like 140 proofers. He probably just drinks that straight all night. and never gets drunk, something like that. Exactly. You'd offer whiskey and a Glen to Chuck Norris one time, and then that's it. Yeah, so I don't have the official at Elder Sean. I don't have the official whiskey trail Libby's glasses, but they're the same shape. It's just they don't have the etching in the bottom. You know, like a Glen. A Glen has the etching in the bottom that says Glencairn or whatever the heck. Anyway, I've been talking and not drinking. So let me pan down here for a second so you guys can know I'm not cheating. Here's my handy dandy list in the phone. All right. So we're going to get these things spaced out normally and spin these around. Not too fast so I don't, that way I have no idea what the heck I'm drinking. All right. And also you get a shot of a Boba Fett shirt. Yeah. Okay. Back up top here. Yeah, that's good. A little higher. All right. So let me pull these off the board, set them down, get this thing out of the way so I have some room. Put that on the floor. All right. So let's get this whiskey war underway. Glass one, whatever that may be. Let me write my numbers down here. All right, glass one. What do we got? Exactly. I mean, honestly, when I do it at home, I just mix them up like the shell game. And my memory, I'm terrible at the shell game. So my memory is so bad that I confuse myself pretty quickly. So doing blind tasting is pretty easy for me to do at home. So I do them all the time. All right. Nice nose. Got some caramel, dark oak, toasted oak, some vanilla, a little cherry. It's like almost like a chocolate covered orange in there, like citrus and chocolate. Really toasty. This is whatever this is a nice whiskey. I have a feeling this might be the Larceny. Have to get through them all and then say for sure. All right, that's nosing of glass number one. Glass number two. This is way lighter. It smells younger. Lots of sour oak. Kind of like some lemon in there. Lots of oak notes, but like not in a good way. I'll try and do chat in between nosing and stuff. Wheel of Morality. Call me Drunken Susan. That's right. Yeah, you like my lazy Susan whiskey spinner there? It's pretty high tech. That's how we do everything around here. I got my letters on duct tape, and I got a lazy Susan to mix up my whiskey. I do. I haven't like Larceny B521 might take it all. I mean, you know, everything will happen in blind tastings. So we'll see what comes out on top, but I have a feeling it'll be in the top 3 or 4 for sure. Yeah, this, like coming off of glass one, whatever this is not nearly as nice. It smells much younger, almost like grassy or like hay, like wet hay. Very young. Kind of like a plum note, which if you guys have ever smelled like Maturit, so if you go do distillery tours, they'll usually give you some of the Maturit like before it's went into the barrel. And it always kind of has, I mean, which is basically moonshine. And it always kind of has that kind of plum raisin note. And so young whiskey will still have that because it hasn't been in a barrel very long. So yeah, whatever that is, it's young. All right, glass number 3. Man, there's like nothing on the nose here. What is going on? Is this even whiskey? It's really strange. It's just like a white, faint, kind of toasted oak. This is really, really light. It's almost like perfumey a little bit, like flowers or something. Man, there's nothing going on in this glass. I don't know what this is, but there's like a very light caramel, a little vanilla. There's not enough going on for there to be any brown sugar or darker notes. Like a light oak. It just kind of smells like wood, like kind of fresh cut oak, but really lightly. Anyway, that glass was uninteresting. Glass number 4, nosing. Let's get it going here. All right, this one is much better. I'm guessing this is the Starlight Double Oak because it has that double-barreled kind of presence. Really like dark fruit forward, like so you get those like roasted date notes, like plum, but like a really rich sweet plum, not like glass 2. Kind of get like chocolates and caramels, but like a rich caramel, a brown sugar, little vanilla, kind of like a whipping cream in there. That was too deep. Anyway, yeah, so far on the nose, 1 and 4 are the best. 2 is young, whatever that is, and then 3 was just boring. All right, before we start sipping here, let me run through some chat. Comandante thing with Specs is that the farther away you get from the Smith Street store, close to downtown Houston, the less cool stuff they get. And the one that I go to is in Beaumont. Well, whenever I visit Texas, still over in the woods, I will keep that in mind. So you need to go to the Smith Street store one, apparently. Might be OCS's limited open barrel. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Larceny makes the other taste like Old Cuban Shoe. Yes, I'm pretty sure that number 2 is Old Cuban Shoe. Okay, see. Hey, we have. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. Beppa, and I'm not even going to try the last. Vask Tech. Thank you for joining us, whoever you may be. I appreciate it. I hope you're getting something out of this. I wish I could respond to your message. Woods, I get it. I go to the one out West 99, and they have a great selection, way more than tiny satellite stores that are everywhere outside of downtown. So is Specs just local to kind of the Houston area, or I don't know anything about Specs. We don't have them here, so yes. Hey now, Beppa. Old Cuban Shoe. There you go. I'm sure they would. Anyway, let's get to sipping. And my camera is failing me again. Come on. I don't even know what makes it lose focus. I don't feel like I move around that much. But anyway. All right, back to number 1, which I feel like is Larceny B521. But, oh yeah, it's so good. Let's get that first sip. Yeah, man, it doesn't even matter what the rest of them taste like. That's the winner. That's got to be B521. There's no way it's not. So, so chocolate, caramel, brown sugar, vanilla, like a rich caramel, like when you get the really high quality caramel syrup. What's the brand? My wife gets it all the time. The refrigerator's right here. This stuff is awesome. It is, that's right. Couldn't think. Yeah, the Ghirardelli chocolate syrup. Oh, it's like that kind of caramel. And then also you get like a strawberry note. There's like a raspberry in there. Oh man, that's so good. And like a nice toasted barrel note. That is excellent bourbon. I'm sure, I mean, I haven't looked at the bottom of the glass yet, but I'm sure that's B521. I'd be really surprised if it's not. So you guys are have to hold me accountable. If glass 1 is not B521, then I suck at my job and I should quit. Now, this piece of crap, whatever this is, maybe it'll taste better than it smelled. It did not smell good at all, though. Still smells really young. Still smells like young maturate. It has not been aged long at all. Anyway, coming off of B521, I don't think this is going to fare very well at all. Man, what the heck is that? Like, I'm looking at the 4 bottles in front of me, and I don't remember any of them tasting like that. It tastes really young. It kind of tastes like white grapes and young oak, like sour oak, like the sour oak notes you get off of a new barrel. Light bits of char. A little bit of the kind of the grassy hay note that I described earlier. There's a little bit of that kind of young, like plum note or raisin. Yeah, it's not great. So far, 1 is definitely in the lead. Oh. Yeah, I'm not getting any leather or tobacco, so that must not be the old Cuban shoe. I would have really liked some leather and tobacco notes in there. It was more just like very young whiskey, young, unexperienced whiskey. Old Cuban shoe is good nostalgia, but not necessarily good drinking. I can appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see if this glass, whatever glass 2 is, we'll see if it is nostalgic for me later. I'm trying to figure out which one that is. I'm guessing it's either the 1792 single barrel or the Puncher's Chance, but I remember the Puncher's Chance having a little more darker notes than that. So maybe it's the 1792 single barrel. I don't know. Glass number 3. Here we go. That's a little better. Got some cinnamon spice in there, caramel, brown sugar, all the normal stuff. A little bit of vanilla. There's like a citrus, like an orange citrus note in there. Not a whole lot going on. The finish disappears pretty quickly. I would guess that that's fairly young as well. It doesn't taste as young as glass number 2, but it still tastes young. That tastes more like the Puncher's Chance to me from what I remember. It's okay. Not my favorite. Before I go on to glass number 4, we still drinking the same thing, guys, or getting out something new? I know. See, AZ had the 101 he was sipping on. I know that other Sean was sipping on some 1783. Actually, I don't remember what Commandante, what did you say? Buffalo Trace, right? You were breaking out some Buffalo Trace, or was that somebody else? I apologize. My memory is terrible, in case you haven't picked up on that already. But anyway, 1783 is all you've got. Hey, well, you know, that's not the worst thing to be stuck with. It could definitely be worse. Me too. Yes. We definitely need to make the old Cuban shoe a thing somehow. We need to get that trending. Although I'm not even on Twitter, so I don't know how you. I don't even know how you make things trend. I have no desire to be trending. Still working on. Oh, you're the one that's drinking Buffalo Trace, not Commandante. My bad. Okay, moving on a rye instead of Weeder. Maybe OGD Bib next. Okay, cool. Yeah. And Templar was. Oh, okay. I've flipped you guys around. Yeah. Still Great Northern. I switched with bitters from Ango to orange. Okay, cool. Yeah. So like 1783 is like I said earlier, like it's a good bourbon to kind of start your night with, especially if like maybe it's been a couple days since you drank and you don't want to like hit your palate with something that's kind of overwhelming. But compared to other stuff, compared to even just other stuff that Evan Williams has, I think it's kind of it's a little boring. Like it's a nice, easy sipper, and so if that's what you're in the mood for, then it fills that role really well. In fact, for the price point, I think it does it excellently. I think you could probably, like if you did it in a blind, I bet you could put that up against like a Blanton's or other single barrels that are kind of mellow and boring, and I bet it would fare pretty well. But typically, I want something with a little more character. But especially if like it's been a 2, 3 day, 4 day hiatus from whiskey, and you're kind of coming back to whiskey, then it's great for those kind. Or like if you had like a really, for those that work outside, and you've had a really hot day and you want something just a little more relaxing, then 1783 is excellent for those kind of rolls. All right, glass number 4 here. This was the one I described as being possibly second best on the nose, which I think that still probably true. Although now that I'm smelling it again, this smells more like the 1792. It has that slight banana note. It's not like an Old Forester banana note, but it's, to me, 1792 always has a slight banana note. But to me, like Old Forester is more like brown sugar banana bread, and 1792 is more like banana runts or some kind of banana candy. Let's see here. Since y'all were talking about it earlier, I pulled out the Maker's 101 and I'm putting it up against some Redemption Wheat at 96. Hey, that's a good comparison. Yeah. Let us know the results. Still live in the woods. Like to hear that. I killed my 1783 last week. Would like to find the bib instead of some small batch. Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't know how I feel about Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, then you guys have not been watching the channel at all. I think that is by far the best bottle under $20. I don't think there's anything even close. I would say next closest under 20 would be Very Old Barton 100 probably. But in my mind, there's a pretty big margin. Now, with that said, I know that some of you are finding Wild Turkey 101 for under 20 or Old Forester 100 for under 20. That's not happening here in Kentucky. Otherwise, one of those two would probably be the top dog, but those are not under 20 in Kentucky. So, yeah. Very smooth, better than Blanton's for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talk about Blanton's all the time. Like, Blanton's is honestly a low bar. I don't know how it got all this prestige that it has around it, but it is what it is, you know, the My Little Pony bottle. I'm out of Wild Turkey 101. Man, AZ is living a rough life over here. We need to get this man some help. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Templar. Blanton's makes me incredibly angry. Like every time I see a post on Facebook about Blanton's, I want to curse the person out. I don't because I try and be a good human being, but I wish I could talk to this person and be like, there's so many great whiskeys out there that you're not trying because you're chasing Blanton's, which is just such a waste of time and money to me. But everybody has their own thing, I guess. Some people want to collect the toppers and I don't know, whatever. I mean, I know Buffalo Trace is loving it. Man, everybody's at a Wild Turkey 101. You guys are having a rough week. Yeah, definitely do that though, other Sean. The Wild Turkey 101 rye is awesome. I have a feeling it will probably, if it does not win our budget rye showdown, it probably is going to come in second only to Rittenhouse. Well, Knob Creek Rye is going to be in the mix as well. Like those three, I feel like are going to be the top ones. Of course, once we do it live, things could go completely different, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think AZ. So, just from what I know of you, now I can't remember how much you like the mint note in whiskey, but like if you like the mint, when you, at least for my bottle, when I first opened it, there was a lot of mint presence, but it was like a spearmint, not like a peppermint. Um, but now once I got the bottle down past the neck, kind of into the shoulder, and it opened up some, then it's really become just an excellent bottle. And now it's like one of my favorite ryes. I wasn't super fond, like the mint wasn't off-putting, but it was a little bit too much mint. But now that it's opened up, it's changed quite a bit. And so now, but I would say straight from the neck pour, I think Rittenhouse is better in that aspect. Like as soon as you open it, like if you had to compare the two side by side, if you just open both, I think Rittenhouse is better. But once the 101 opens up, I think it probably is better. Like I think it's a little more complex than the Rittenhouse. Um, I mean, as I was, I'm gonna say, yeah. I think it is. Once we do the blind for all the budget ryes, we'll know for sure. But I have a feeling it's going to win. Like it's like I said just a minute ago, it's going to be between Rittenhouse, Wild Turkey 101, and Knob Creek. I feel like one of those three is going to win. And they're all great. They're very different, but they're all great. They're both pretty good, surprisingly similar, considering they come from different states. Yes. Wait a second. I feel like you're talking about something else. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sliver in the Woods. I mean, because Rittenhouse and Turkey are both Kentucky products, as far as I know. That's right. I realize what you're talking about. You're talking about your comparison. Yeah, the MGP and the makers. I got you. Okay. My Little Pony ball. Yeah. I have yet to try Wild Turkey 101. Well, man, you got to. Let me pause from chat for a second. I still have not sipped glass 4, so let's do that. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like, I don't know. How do I go back to it? It's really oaky again. This glass is throwing me. I don't have a good guess on this. It could be any of the three that are not B521. I know it's not B521. I'm thinking it's either Starlight or 1792 single barrel. Anyway, let's get it. I think that's 1792. Pretty sure. The single barrels are weird though, you know. Single barrels can be completely off profile for a distillery, so it's hard to say. But that was good though. So like white banana, little caramel, not as rich a caramel as the first glass for sure. A little bit of brown sugar in there, not super prominent, but a little brown sugar. Nice vanilla note though, really nice vanilla. Really nice like creamy, like whipping cream note in there. Hints of oak. The oak is kind of light. A little bit of toasted oak, like a little hints of char on the finish. Like that's kind of what gives it away to me that might be 1792, because to me 1792 always finishes with char, oak, and a little bit of banana, and that's exactly what I got on the finish there. But we shall see. Mint is okay, licorice is ass. Yes, agreed. That's pretty much where I'm at on it. As long as it's like I don't like peppermint a whole lot. Well, not in bourbon. Like in life, I don't mind it. Like I like peppermint as like my wife. She has all these scented candles and whatever the things are. You put the little oil in, and then it puts out smells. I don't know. We need a woman in chat to fill out what the heck those things are. But so sometimes she'll do peppermint, and like that's a nice smell in the house, but I just don't like it that much in bourbon. Anyway, but one, and if I don't like it, I will refund. Okay, might have to revisit the Wild Turkey 101. I have had it, haven't had it in a while. I used to not like the spicy toasted flavors, but that might be different now. You know, so. You know, it's funny to me, since you're mentioning that, Commandante Lou, it's funny to me how much my tastes have changed in the last, I don't know, 2 years or so. So, for instance, I still do, but Russell's Reserve Single Barrel used to be like my favorite bottle. And I mean, I still got 2 downstairs, but they're still about half full, and I've had them a while. Like I don't go back to them that much because even though they're 110 proof, they just don't have kind of the bold flavors I'm looking for. Even though it's 110 proof, it's not the turkey profile that I'm really after these days. Like I think I prefer Rare Breed to Russell's Reserve Single Barrel now. And I think that Single Barrel is good. I just don't think it's as good now. But you know that's changed in the last couple of years, because I used to prefer the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel over the Rare Breed, because the Rare Breed is much more of like a kick in the teeth. I mean, that is a bold whiskey without a doubt. But now that's kind of what I like better. So yeah, your palate can definitely change over time. Really did like the Redemption. Well, so that AZ, as soon as we get past this budget rye thing, I'm going to do a less budget rye comparison. Things that are kind of like over, say, 35 or so and up. And because I have several ryes that are above the $30 price point. So I'll get Redemption in, and we'll compare it to, like, say, Rendezvous Rye. And we got, what else do I have? I got that New Riff Malted Rye. I know I got a couple others. I just can't think what they are. Anyway, those are the ones that are coming to mind. Changed up a title, new bottle. AC, I'm sure I will like it. Your money is safe. Maybe a bit sweeter. Not sure what you're referring to. My Walmart around the corner has, well, then that's a buy. Yeah, all the time. You've told me that before. Now that I think about it, AZ, and I wish that I could get Wild Turkey 101 for 19. I would own a lot more of it. I would have like 5 bottles just because it's only $19. I mean, not that like 26 is a lot, but you know, $7 makes a difference, especially when you buy as much whiskey as I do. I took a 7-year hiatus. I maybe okay, yeah, for sure. Nice price hanging. Yeah, see, that's what I'm paying, Other Sean. I mean, basically, sometimes I can get it for 26. If it's on sale, I can get it for 23, 24. But most of the time, it's 26, 27, somewhere in that range. 1.75 for 33. That's disgusting, AZ. I'm paying like 40, 43, 44 for 1.75. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, there you go. Peppermint essential oil is nice. Yes, I agree. That was the thing I was looking for. I use it in my son's humidifier. Oh, very cool. Yeah. That actually I have some kind of allergy or whatever. It's not severe by any means, but just more of annoying. Yeah, I could probably sleep with peppermint oil going. I don't know. I could not find a Russell single barrel at Total Wines. Maybe not a bad thing. I mean, I don't get me wrong, AC. I really like Russell's Reserve single barrels. It's just that now my palate has kind of shifted to where I prefer rare breed. But I mean, rare breed is an amazing whiskey, so it's not like Russell's Reserve single barrel is crap. It's just I don't think it's as good as rare breed now. I used to think the opposite, but that made me want to break out the rare breed, not even though running low. Like I said, I always keep 2 bottles in the house, Sean, because that's become. I mean, not that it's budget, but it's a bottle you can find all the time, and it's always great. And the batches are a little bit different each time, but like they're on profile, but they're always just a little bit enough different to keep it interesting. Redemption Rye is 25. Not around here, it's not. Yeah, you guys, I don't know how you guys get these prices. Like, I'm always amazed. Like, so the cheapest I've ever seen Redemption Rye here is $10 higher than that. $35 at Walmart is the cheapest I can find it. So, and the thing is, I know that it's just MGP. So I guess still living in the woods, my question is it enough different from like Bullet Rye and Ezra Brooks Rye, which are both MGP products, to be worth it? And while you answer, I'm going to hit the bathroom. I apologize, guys. I know I have no one to back me up, but I'll be right back. All right. Got a rare breed for birthday, and I'm a miser with it. Yeah. I mean, the thing about rare breed is that a little goes a long way because it is 116 proof. So you can make that bottle last. Same here. Still nursing my B-Day present from May. There you go. Russell's 10-year was not as good as I'd hoped. Yeah. I guess I haven't put that review out yet. I have it filmed, but it's not out yet. But so here's my thing. Like, to me, it's in the same category as Eagle Rare, like we were talking about earlier. It's 10-year-old bourbon, but they water it down to 90 proof. And so then it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's really unexciting to me. I don't know. It's just, I wish that all these distilleries could start putting out 10-year products that are 100 proof. I realize that reduces the number of bottles they can put out. But I mean, I'd rather them bump the price a little bit and get a better product on the back end. Because, I mean, most 90 proofers just are not very interesting to me anymore. And I think the farther you get along into experiencing different whiskeys and bourbons and stuff, it's just, I don't know, just not the same anymore. Let me catch up on chat, and I need to finish out our whiskey war here. I've been chatting a lot and not sipping. I'm racking my first batch of mead this week. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you talking about that last week. Should be ready for Christmas. Awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about how that turns out. I've tried mead twice. One time I really liked it, and the second time it was good, but you know, like anything, I think it all depends on how it's been processed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it all depends on your state's economy tax for sure, man. And in Kentucky, it's ridiculous. I mean, we're paying something like 15% tax. So, I mean, I was at a store, let's see, 3 nights ago, bought a bottle that was $50, and I paid 57 something, like 57.83 out the door. So lots of tax on alcohol here in Kentucky. And I mean, honestly, Kentucky is really lax about a lot of things, but you know, we still got Southern Baptists that hate alcohol, so they tax the crap out of it. Redemption Rye is like 33 here. Yeah, that's closer to what I'm paying. Yeah, apparently so, Adam. I don't get it since it's made here, but man, we are getting ripped. I mean, it's amazing that the distillery is literally 2 hours away, and I'm paying more than you guys are seeing in Arizona and Texas. Don't understand. 25 for redemption. That's God bless Texas for sure, man. You know, though, I'm not trying to get political or anything here. You know, all you Texan folk, we had open carry before you guys. That's right. We have been an open carry state a full year longer than you have. So take that, Texas. Yeah, there's people that open carry in Walmart all the time. It's pretty funny. I mean, there's like no reason to, because our Walmart is super chill. I mean, we live in a town. I mean, there's like 22,000 people in the whole county. Yeah, but people open carry at Walmart all the time. Pretty funny. About 50 miles north of Beaumont. Just north of Dallas here. That's right. Yeah, you're Dallas Fort Worth. I remember you saying that. Watered down 10-year. Yeah, unfortunately. Texas in there tonight. You know, it's funny to me, like a lot of my biggest, I don't like the word fans, followers doesn't seem right. Whatever you guys want to call yourselves, people that listen to my bull crap. A lot of you guys seem to be from out west, which I think is interesting. Maybe it's the cowboy hat. I don't know. But I mean, the West has always been kind of close to my heart. I mean, I've always loved Westerns. I mean, I own a bunch of them. I've watched, you know, some of the Clint Eastwood Westerns, I don't know, dozens of times. There's just something about that aesthetic and that lifestyle that I've always thought was really cool. Something about, you know, cowboys and just kind of roughnecks. And anyway, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm still really happy around 100. A6 is, yeah. I know what you're referring to. Yeah. The black label's all right, but that bottle and bond, that's where it's at. I got you. Yeah. I haven't had Dickel Rye yet, so I will have to give that a try. Um, like I'm not. Did I release that? Yeah. Okay. Cowgirls are here. Adam's trying to start something. Anyway, oh, I got it. No, sir. Catholic with a good education on the Templar Knights. Man, I'm not. You guys are just the chat is going crazy tonight. If I keep reading this, I'm never gonna. Let me read this one, and I gotta finish out our whiskey war, and then we can chat some. I need to get a U-Haul and sell Kentucky bourbon, Kentucky. Yeah, for real. Yeah, just bring your Kentucky bourbon back to Kentucky. You can make all kinds of money. Hey, well, guess what? So my question is, how long has it been that way? Because we've been that way for 2 years, AZ, and there's only Arizona might have us beat, but I know Texas doesn't because Texas just had that going to law like the beginning of this year, I believe. Yeah, constitutional carry. That's right. Kentucky is all about it. Anyway, back to glass one. We're going to do round two. Actually, I'm going to do them in reverse order. I'll start with glass four this time, run them back this way, and then we're going to crown our winner, which I'm sure is glass one, which is B521. I'm almost positive. But I'm going to go through it real quick this time. I'm not going to go through all the tasting notes, just going to sip them. That's good. That's like a good second place. I think that's. I don't. I feel like that's either the 17. I don't. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I think it's a 1792 though. I agree, man. Like I wanted to just like when I set out to make a channel, and I hope to stay that way. Is you know I wanted just like the working man's regular guy, like roughneck cowboy kind of channel, because to me that's what whiskey is. Like when I see hipsters drinking whiskey, it just feels out of place because all the guys I knew that drank whiskey growing up were not hipster guys. Like the guys that drank whiskey when I was growing up were guys that made fun of hipster guys and beat the crap out of hipster guys. So it's weird that whiskey has become like a hipster thing because I don't know, it just seems so out of place. Well, is that what you meant, Woods? Because is MGP making Dickel's rye, or I would assume that Dickel is making it, but maybe I'm wrong. That somehow Woods is like the master of knowing where whiskey comes from. He must have some kind of secret list. He's always correcting me on where whiskey comes from. So there's a town in Kentucky that is named after my family. Oh, cool. Yeah, so talking of weird named towns in Kentucky. So I was actually born in a town called Hyden, Kentucky, which is a tiny little town that my mother chose it because they have what the heck of it? midwives or whatever the thing is. I don't know. It's like the whole natural birth crap, whatever the thing. Hipster neckbeard blends. Exactly. Yeah. So I think they're funny. I'll give them that. But like the Whiskey Tribe, Whiskey Vault guys, I am not of the same attitude. I am not of the attitude that what the heck is they're saying? It's like whiskey your way or some gay crap. I shouldn't say that. The whiskey's taking over. What is the thing? It's anyway. I'm sure you guys have seen whatever their thing is that they say that basically it's like drink whiskey however you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, and you can butt chug it if you want. They don't care. Yeah, I'm not of that mindset at all. I think there's a right way to drink whiskey. I think I've made that pretty clear. Okay, so just drank glass 2. That's last for sure. Am I out of water? Got a sip there. Plan 1 to smuggle out rare whiskey from Kentucky. Another to sell my little pony bottle stoppers on Etsy. I'm telling you, man. So now it used to be that you could buy toppers at Buffalo Trace. I'm totally down with your black market plan, Commandante. I'm all about it. As an ex-drug dealer, that's right up my alley. Even though, I'm trying really hard to be a Christian now, but I feel like taking advantage of taters and hipsters is fine. I don't think Jesus frowns on that. So I can't speak for him, but I got a feeling that he's probably okay with it. Anyway. All right, so there's the answer. This is the guy that knows all the sources of all the whiskey. Thank you, Woods. Yes, Dickel sources derived from MGP. Okay, so is it there? So further question: is it the 95.5 or is it the 51.45 4 or whatever because MGP has 2 different rye mash bills. So I wonder which one Dickel is, because actually, even though Ezra Brooks is really watered down, I still prefer the 51 to the 95. I need to. I feel like you worded that way on purpose. Blair, Kentucky. Yeah, nice. One thing is for certain. Glass 1 is definitely larceny. Like it's so much better than everything else on the table. And the thing is okay, so as I said earlier, this was $70. This I got on sale for $45, but it's normally $55. This was like $45 or $50, and this was $55, I think. So granted, it's $10 to $15 more than everything else on the table, but it smells like and tastes like it's twice as much as everything on the table. If you hold your pinky out while drinking whiskey, you should be asked to leave. You know who does that, right? You know, I feel like you said that because of what I was saying earlier. Because there's a person on WhiskeyTube that's very famous that they might even go by the name of Daniel, perhaps, and they might be part of a whiskey channel that's named Whiskey Tribe / Whiskey Vault, and they hold their pinky out every single freaking time. Drives me crazy every time I see him do it. Like I want to punch my screen, but you know, hey, the fad will pass, but we will still be here. Absolutely. Fisher Price, my first whiskey bottle. So that made me think of your comment, AZ, on my my buying guide. How you were like a diehard 101 fan. Like I feel like when someone tells me, and I guess I'm biased this way because I'm also, I mean, 101 is what got me into whiskey like years ago. I mean, when I was like 18. So when someone tells me they're a 101 fan, to me, that's a real whiskey fan because that's real whiskey. Like to me, Jim Beam it's so watered down and so that's like you were saying, like the Fisher Price, my first whiskey bottle. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fakers out there. Yeah, why did I put that back in there? That's last. All right, let's get these sorted. So this is first. Whatever glass 1 is first. Like by such a large margin, it's not even fair. Now I just need to figure out between 3 and 4, which is second. And okay, real quick. So still living in the woods, answer the question. So the Dickel Rye is the 95.5 mash bill, which is not my favorite. It's got that licorice note and I don't know, just other weirdness that I don't really care for. But maybe maybe an extra year would help it. I don't know how old the Bulleit Rye is, but it's not my favorite. All right, so the nose on 4 is worse, but last 2 sips, well, not last 2 sips, because I'm just going to sip on whatever's left after this. I'm out of water, so I can't really do a palate cleanse. So I will just try and do my best here. AZ's killing it with the jokes tonight. Yes. I think that's just a good life rule there. Yeah, sorry, I clicked too fast. Real whiskey fans will be here long after everybody gets burnt out when they can't find Buffalo Trace, which I feel like I think a lot of people are getting there. I think a lot of people are getting to the point where they're tired and because they can't find Buffalo Trace, especially people that don't live in Kentucky. Because it's just, I mean, it's almost completely unavailable now. I mean, even regular Buffalo Trace is becoming allocated. I mean, at my local Kroger, and I live in Kentucky, Buffalo Trace now says 1 per person. That just started about 2 or 3 months ago. I never thought that would be a thing that would happen, but it is. It's just the hype around Buffalo Trace products is insane. Yeah, so it's a pretty small distillery. I mean, to be fair, I have to go to like Total Wine or like Liquor Barn, which is probably the second biggest liquor store in our area, kind of like your Specs. If I'm going to find Starlight stuff, I have to go there. So they're not super big, but I know they're in Texas because Mr. Pinky Out has talked about Starlight. So they're getting it somehow. and we'll see how good it is, because I now, granted, this is not my favorite bottle from Starlight. There we go. Their standard bourbon, not the double oak, I think I prefer, and it did pretty well. And I did that in a blind. Yeah, it's not on this list. I only have rounds 3, 4, and 5, so it must have been round 1 or 2. But nonetheless, I did like their standard bourbon quite a bit. All right, placements. We got them. That there, that there, that there. Okay, so let's see how right I am. I think I'll just call them out as I go through them. So I'm almost certain glass 1, as I said from the beginning, is B521. So B521 would be glass B. It looks like a B. That's a B. Can you guys see that? You see the B? Backwards. Let's B. And then, well, can't remember. This is the one this is either Starlight or 1792. Actually, it could be any 3 of them. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. It's second, so it won't be going into the finals. So this is really just for charity or whatever. I'll take a final smell here. I think it's 1792. I'm gonna go with that. If I'm wrong, whatever. So that would be C, right? Yeah, C. Oh no, is that a D? That's a D. So it was Starlight. Oh well. So then this has to be C. Actually, yeah. Okay, so that could be 17. Okay, so is this C? If this isn't C, then I'm really surprised. The hell is that? Okay, that's C. You guys see that? Camera. It's not really focusing. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, C, yeah. So that was 1792, which means Puncher's Chance was last. Man, that smells way younger than I remember. So that means, as pretty much everyone expected from my comments earlier, B521 Larceny Barrel Proof will be moving on to the finals. That is, as I've said, and if you guys want to see more of these, if you guys have enjoyed this, please let me know. The live whiskey war. It's a lot to drink at once, especially on a live, because you get a little slurry. But if you guys are having fun with this, like to see what's coming up, because all this will be culminating into the whiskey of the year. So if you guys want to see more of these, I can do one next week as well. So let me run through chat here, and then we'll see what we have to say about the results. So B521, again, is our winner. Larceny Barrel Proof B521. The thing, okay, just poured Evan Williams bib. All right. You know I'm a fan. The thing I don't like about the Tribe is that they tend to shit on bourbon. Well, you made me curse. I need to proofread. They tend to S on bourbon and prefers. I agree. Well, I mean, because Daniel does. Daniel prefers Scotch. I mean, he's made that clear from the very beginning. I mean, his very first video, he's drinking Scotch, which is fine. I mean, I think there's good Scotch out there. So here's the Scotch dilemma to me. It's like you could get a $60 Scotch, which will be good, or you could get a $40 bourbon, which would be just as good, if not better. So there's like this $20 difference in price for like equal to better quality. because you can get similar age statements, similar quality of bourbon for Scotch prices. For $20, the whiskey's working, folks. It's about time for me to wrap things up. It seems like, because my tongue isn't working anymore. We need to bottle some. We need to bottle some OCS Collector's Limited Small Batch, put it in a fancy bottle with a shoe topper, and sell it to these hipsters. Yeah, you need like a really fancy shoe. We need to figure out what kind of shoes appeal to hipsters. What like those French style boots? You know that they like come to like a point, and they like lace up really pretty. That seems like a really hipster kind of boot. You maybe put that on top of that old Cuban, or we'd have to research what an old Cuban shoe really looks like. Then you could sell it as a minority product, which the hipsters would really love. Growing up, my grandfather, World War II gen, drank Wild Turkey 101. To me, it will always be the whiskey. I agree. I mean, like, I know Jack holds the crown as far as sales, but that's only because of marketing, I feel like. But I mean, when I think about budget whiskeys that just kind of set the standard, it's Wild Turkey 101. I don't think there's anything more synonymous with, and I am an Old Forester fan, but like Wild Turkey and what Jimmy has created over a Wild Turkey specifically, that to me is the truest form of whiskey culture. Like that is the Southern gentleman in the right sense of that word, drinking whiskey. And just, I mean, when you watch Jimmy talk about whiskey, that's how you should feel about whiskey. If you don't feel that way about whiskey, then I don't think that you actually appreciate whiskey. And Jimmy, I mean, I love watching his interviews because it's not frills and all this fancy talk and all the science and fancy mash bills. And I mean, the guy just puts out amazing whiskey. And it's not science. It's not bull crap. He's not trying to do anything fancy. He's just an old Southern gentleman that makes kick-ass whiskey, and he's been doing it for longer than I've been alive. So, yeah, that to me, I would have to agree. Still, I mean, that's like quintessential whiskey. Glad I don't know about the tribe. I enjoy the conversation here. Also, take some notes for the specs. Yeah. If I ever get down to Texas, I will have to remember I'm going to have to like go down through my lives and make all these notes on trips to specs. A lot of the hipsters are already dropping whiskey in favor of high-end tequilas and gins yeah. I know that to be true because my local stores keep suggesting that I buy barrel-aged tequilas. You would think that they would know me by now. I mean, I come in every week and I buy 2, 3, 4 bottles of bourbon. Occasionally, I'll buy a scotch. And they're trying to sell me tequila aged in bourbon barrels. So, which is funny to me because it's like you're trying to take a thing that's, at least in my mind, if you drink tequila, then, whatever, good for you. But you're trying to take a thing that's subpar and using a thing that is the standard to make it better. Because that's what bourbon barrels are. They are the standard. That's why every aspect of liquor now is aging thing in bourbon. aging things in bourbon barrels because that is the standard. That's the place you want to be. Scotch is being aged in bourbon barrels, has been for a long time. Rum is being aged in bourbon barrels. Tequila is being aged in bourbon barrels. So, yeah, just buy bourbon. Skip the trying to make fake bourbon in bourbon barrels and just buy bourbon. Too much facial hair. Well, so I just have scruff, so I guess that's the right amount. The thing is like man, what's it? So it's Daniel and Rex. That's the other guy. Like I think Rex is amusing. I mean, he's the absolute quintessential hipster, but I think he's amusing. And he's not as fancy as Daniel, which I appreciate. But yeah, I mean, Daniel almost like low key kind of, what's the right word? Like passive aggressively kind of craps on bourbon. Like he knows he can't do it outright, but he kind of does, which irritates me. Same Woods, Wild Turkey is such a good distillery. Speaking of BT hype, I'm enjoying the taste of those, and we a bit more than Buffalo Trace I just had. Yep, can't disagree. I mean, like standard Buffalo Trace is good. I'm not going to take a whole lot away from it, but there's so many good things right now. BT is okay if I get it cheap, but underproofed. Agreed. Well, I have a man's beard. Maybe I need to start. So if it were up to me, and I'm not going to go into the explanation, but if it were up to me, I would have a crazy beard. Well, not crazy. It would be like sloped and long. I guess what you would consider like the metal beard. Anyway, I just shaved off my stash and goat combo. Okay, I got you. It's that time of the year where everybody's shaving because, for some reason, there's like this stigma in our society when a family comes around, we have to look presentable, which for some reason that means you have to not have facial hair. It's probably the British influence. I don't really understand it, but it's a thing that keeps happening. So I have a bushy mustache and a goatee down to middle of my chest. Okay, well, I'd say that's a long goatee, but awesome. But no handlebars. Well, that's good. Oh, okay, no problem. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up on chat. So, to no one's surprise, Larceny B521 was the winner. Second, let me double check here. D was Starlight. So Starlight Distillery Double Oak was second. But so second and third were very close. And then C, which was 1792 single barrel, was, so this one right here, that was third. But the winner, no surprise to anyone based on what I said earlier, was this bottle right here, which I still hold could take the title this year. It is, if you guys can find Larceny B521 anywhere under 100, I would buy it. I know a lot of us have rules about not spending a lot on whiskey, and I'm in agreement, but that's a bottle that I would change my rules for. So here's what I typically do with losers. I like to combine losers to see what you get. So I'm combining A, which is Punchers, with C, which is 1792. And usually you get a more complex more interesting whiskey when you combine a bunch of younger whiskeys, because younger whiskeys tend to have different, depending on what the distillery is, they have different flavor notes. So it doesn't always work out. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this, what is this? Starlight in as well. So now we have a combo of 1792 single barrel, Puncher's Chance, barrel proof store pick, and then Starlight double oak store pick. So I'm going to mix that around, let that sit for a little bit. Let me catch up on chat though. I'm not mixing the B521 because that's way too good to, exactly, larceny. There was no question. Yes, Templar Fidelis. I have, as far as I know, I have not missed a Friday in about 3 months. I try and make every Friday. One thing to keep in mind with that, when Charles is available, I try and get him in here, and we try and alternate Fridays. But here lately, that's not been the case because Charles has been really, really busy. When I say Charles, for those that don't know, that is Fun with Whiskey. And I do that mainly because Charles is my boy, and I want to support his channel as well. So I try and alternate to give him some stream time as well. But Charles has been super, super busy with work, so that's why he hasn't been on for a while. We haven't been kind of doing our alternating thing. But yeah, either way, whether I be on Charles' channel or my channel, I am here every Friday. So again, just real quick, and I'll get to what you're saying there, Woods. So again, if you want to see me, I'm either going to be here, which it looks like I'm going to be here on my channel most of the time because of Charles' schedule right now. If I'm not here, it's Fun with Whiskey on YouTube is the other channel I would be on. But either way, like I said, I don't believe I missed a Friday in at least 3 months, something like that, 2 to 3 months. I've been pretty consistent. So yeah, I would agree. So I guess still in the woods, you were here when Charles and I compared Peat Monster with Ardbeg 10, and Ardbeg is my favorite Scotch. As far as run-of-the-mill Scotches go. Now I've had some Scotches that are not run-of-the-mill, like some of the what's the name? It's Octomore. So I had a chance to try an Octomore. I couldn't tell you the batch because Octomores are very almost like single barrels in the bourbon world. But Octomore, I tried an Octomore at a bar a year ago. That's why I can't remember the batch, but that is my favorite peated Scotch. But as far as run-of-the-mill, easy to find peated Scotches go, Ardbeg is my favorite. Let me run through these real quick. I'm going to try and rapid fire these. When I go to Scotch, it's always way more expensive, Lagavulin and such. Yeah, it is because, well, that's supposed to be ending soon, but the tariffs on Scotch, I believe those have ended now. So hopefully we will see lower prices in Scotch. But the problem is that once the price gets hiked, it takes a while, if ever, for bourbon stores to reduce the price. So maybe we won't see them. A Birkenstock. I'm not sure what you're referring to or however it's spelled. A sandal? Apparently I missed something here. You guys all fill me in. Old Colombian shoe. Now made in real shoe. Made with real shoe. Sorry. I told you the reading would start slipping. Yeah, I don't know how many ounces of barrel proof whiskey I have in me, but it's some. Jack is, yeah, that is what Jack is. Except for everything outside of Old Number 7. Now, I'm not a super fan of the single barrel. The single barrels, but these single barrel proof is a really nice whiskey. So, and all the special releases from Jack have been excellent. I like Scotch and I like whiskey. No need to compare the two. Sandals. Let's see here. Wow, the weeder made the high rye taste hotter. Ooh, Ric Flair. Yeah, it always tends to. Yeah, I mean, so for me, gins are for mixing. Like gin is not something I could drink neat because to me there's just not enough going on for it to deserve being drank neat. It's a mixer like vodka. It just kind of, you can mix a lot of things with it. It fits a lot of purposes, and yeah. Cooks at Total Wines always try to sell me expensive bourbon, and I never. Yeah. Matt Porter is okay, but he gets more bourbon in his. I mean, I like Matt a lot. Like, I mean, we've never done anything together. I don't think he even knows I exist. But, like, so here's the thing about Matt is that Matt clearly is somewhat of a like comedy genius, because you can tell that he writes out scripts for his reviews, but his lives are not as interesting because he doesn't have a script written out for that. So, like Matt would probably be an excellent stand-up comic, because stand-up comics rely on a script that they went over in their mind, and that's kind of what Matt does. Larceny regular always wins. Yep. Cast the lose. See you never seen again. Go biblical. Well, so sometimes if you combine all the losers, they turn out okay. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's see here. Alcohol abuse. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I never throw out whiskey. I just can't do it. There's been maybe 2 or 3 times where I've had exceptionally bad whiskey and I've dumped it down the sink. But I'm talking about a glass full. I've never dumped a whole bottle. I always find a way to give it away, mix it in something, some way. Anyway, let me read. Lou, I have barbecue to go to tomorrow. May bring a bottle over. There you go. Level and Charles is on. God bless. Jory barbecue and good whiskey tomorrow. There can only be one. Matt's a good guy, kid. Yeah, he is. Wait, so Templar, are you heading out? Is that what that meant? I wasn't sure. If so, then good night, brother, but I hope you're still with us. Let's see what our Frankenstein combination is going to be like here. I got to say, the nose is much nicer. It's a combination of all of the above. So cherry, little grape, nice oak note, little toasted oak, lots of dark notes now. Brown sugar, nice caramel, like a deep brown sugar though. Lots of char showing through. Yeah. So if you take 3 kind of average bourbons and you pour them together, at least on the nose, not bad. Well, sometimes though that happens. Sometimes, for whatever reasons, there's probably some science behind it. But sometimes when you combine a bunch of barrel proofs or near barrel, The tongue isn't even working anymore. The tongue is shut down. Let's try again. So when you combine 2 barrel proofs and one, what is this? Is 49, so nearly 100 proof. So we got 100 proof ish. We got 110. And then what is this Punchers? This Punchers is 57.41. So math 114. Yeah, so we got a 114, a 110, and a 100 proof. So when you combine all those together, man, that drink's hot. Like it drinks so hot. It drinks like it's 130. So sometimes that happens. Yeah, we got a little bit. We got a little bit of old Cuban shoe going, maybe. I'm not getting the deep leather or tobacco notes. So no deep old Cuban shoe. But it drinks really, really hot. It drinks hotter than the Larceny Barrel Proof, which is the hottest thing on the table by proof. And it's not nearly as nice. So unfortunately, all of the losers combined are not as good as our winner. Not even close. So now a sip of our winner. Again, I wish we need smell-o-vision because this bottle is amazing. I'm telling you guys, if you guys can see it anywhere in your area for under 100, like $100, if you get it for under 100, buy this bottle. Oh, man. Mm-hmm. Ah, so good. That is so good. Like, what's crazy to me is that this B521 is more complex on its own than all of these combined. Yep. That is a killer bottle. Like, what's funny to me is we all know Jason. Now I feel like his tone has changed a little bit on this, but for a long time Jason hated the Larceny Barrel Proofs, and I feel like this year it's changed a little bit. And so, given Larceny Barrel Proofs do change every year, so but I feel like the Larceny Barrel Proof gets way too much hate, and this bottle is excellent. So look for it to be in the finals for sure. Let me get through some chat here. Yeah, Matt loved Makers 101, so he gets a pass for sure. Yeah, for the most part, I would say either Matt. So when I think about guys that have palates that are similar to mine, it's usually either Matt or Dan Shook from Bourbon Junkies, or although not as much. I would say me and Matt are closer as far as what we agree on, or David from Whiskey Row. So usually when I'm going for advice on what to buy, I pay really close attention to what those three guys are enjoying, because they typically pick out notes and enjoy notes that I enjoy as well. And that's, not that I'm trying to push you guys off to other channels, but that's the only utility of having lots of different whiskey channels out there is that you can find a person that agrees with your palate, and so then you can use that as advice. But at the same time, there's certain channels, and I'm not going to name them, that maybe I agree with their palate choices, but they're so annoying and so frustrating to listen to that I just can't do it. Yeah, the face. Yeah, this drinks like it's gasoline. I mean, there's some nice notes in there, but yeah, the three losers, I don't know how they're hotter than they were individually, but somehow they are. Yeah, exactly. Whiskey face. Like I had like the face like I've never drank whiskey before, except for I just drank a whole bunch of whiskey. So you're killing me, Smalls. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Yeah, 101 is. I'm glad it's become less hype. So when 101 first came out, first off, I didn't like the fact that they took the 101 kind of title from Wild Turkey. I felt that was kind of a sacred number. But nonetheless, I feel like Makers has done a really good job of keeping that number sacred. So I'll leave them alone. But I would say it's got to be. So for me, this is the order: 46 cask, 46 regular, then probably 101, and then Maker's cask, and then yeah, then just standard Makers, I guess. So for me, 101 is third in the lineup. I would say, and really 46 regular and 101 could go back and forth depending on the day. Those are close second and third. SLB Drinks is a good channel. He is spot on with me. I don't SLB Drinks. I'm not familiar with that channel. I'll have to check him out. Have you ever tried the TW brand Lang's Scotch? They have a NFC blend, rich and refined. That's now. I'm not familiar with any of the. Like, you could be speaking Spanish right now, and it would mean equally as much. I don't know what any of that means. TW brand Lang's Scotch. Never heard of it. They have an NFC blend. Yeah. I hope you like it. Let me know. Yeah, I have no idea what any of those things mean. Sorry, other Sean. I have no insights into that. Never tried them. Wish I could give you more info, but yeah, I mean, as you guys know, I'm primarily a bourbon guy. I do own a few scotches, but usually peated scotches are my thing. So I don't know what category of scotch. I don't know if that's like an Islay or a Speyside or a Highland or what category of scotch that's in. But typically, I'm going to be more of an Islay Scotch kind of guy. It is still a limited release. I got the last bottle. Now, AZ are. Are you saying that 101 is still a limited release? I didn't know that. I mean, I see it all over the place here, but I mean, again, I'm 2 hours from the distillery, so I better. Non-chill filtered, okay, from Total Wine. TW brand. Okay, yeah, Sean, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Because I'm always looking for new kind of interesting off the beaten path kind of things. So I will look out for that. So speaking of, if you guys like kind of interesting different things, I talked about it last week as well, but so it's I guess Infused Spirits is the actual distillery name, but then Broken Barrel is like a subtitle, and then Total Wine had specific barrels that they chose for themselves. And the one that I got is actually, it's stout casks as well as bourbon casks and Oloroso sherry casks. So it's 3 different barrels that this one whiskey has been aged in, which it will be in the lineup for Whiskey of the Year. It will certainly get mentioned. I don't know where it will place, but that has been a phenomenal bottle. And I think I paid $45, so it's also very budget friendly. It's not like crazy priced. I got it at Total Wine. It was a store pick there. So if you guys see that, I don't know what the distribution is of that particular store pick, but if you see that, it's infused spirits. I think I showed the bottle on the live last week, but if not, I can grab it next week and show it off again if people are interested. So if that's something you would be interested. So if you like stout beers, if you like bourbon, and if you like Scotch, then it's kind of the combination of all of those things together, which to me works really well. Yep. So we're gonna have a like budget bottle and bond showdown. That's another video I did not mention earlier, but that will definitely be a thing in the near future, probably January sometime. Oh, okay. I mean, I suppose it is. It's just I see it everywhere, so I don't think of it that way. But I'm sure it is. I mean, it says limited release on the box, so I guess it is. Stout beers, 100. Yes. I mean that is my favorite category of beer. Like this was something local. So again, if you don't know, I live in a tiny town in Kentucky, so we don't get a whole lot of selection. I hunt for whiskey because I have to, but I usually am not like looking for beer. But I just saw this at a local store and grabbed it because it's kind of, I mean, it's not really a porter or a stout. Well, actually, I take that back. So it's porter and premium beer. So it's a combination of porter and beer. So it's kind of in the realm of what I normally drink as far as beer goes. Still want to try OGD Bib. If it's anything like 114, I'm sure it's not, if I'm honest, other Sean. So to me, OGD Bib is a lot more cinnamon forward and less of the darker notes. So I would say OGD Bib is closer to a Knob Creek. It's much more similar to that profile to me than it is the other things in the Old Grandad line, which is probably why I prefer it, the 114. The Bib is good, but it's a little bit too much cinnamon compared to 114. It's good if you're in the mood for cinnamon. I apologize, guys. I can tell that I'm slurring a lot, so I probably need to shut down here soon because I'm not functioning at a level that's really acceptable to me. So let me run through some comments here. I will try and read best I can. I didn't even click anything that time. Okay. Both not sure which I like best. H-Town has great breweries that do amazing stouts. Yeah, stouts, that's my favorite. If I can get a really good imperial stout, that's my favorite kind of beer to drink. I don't drink them often, but if I'm going to go beer, that's usually what I grab. Like I said, I grabbed this because it was easy. It was local, so used to be all about beer. Sierra Nevada was favorite, But since getting into whiskey, I'll have one on the holidays, but that's about it. Yeah. I mean, I grabbed a 6-pack of this, and that will probably last me a couple months. They sit in my basement refrigerator, and they will probably be there a while. 114 has more citrus and buttery taste. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, buttery for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, I guess I could see citrus, like a darker citrus, maybe to me. Yeah, like I said, to me, OGD 114 is closer to the Knob Creek kind of profile. You're a good man. We're all getting buzzed with. Yeah, but I'm like, if I finish these, I will just about be incoherent. Like, because I can already feel myself slipping. And I don't like that. I don't like to do that live. I don't like to be sloppy while I'm live. So that's why I'm saving these. I'll probably drink these after the stream just so I'm kind of coherent. Hot here. Well, yeah. I mean, it's always hot in Arizona, I have to imagine. Do you guys ever get so maybe in northern Arizona, do you guys get snow ever? I mean that's kind of right on the cusp of where the snow line might be. Well, yeah. So I took down a whole flight and I had a beer, which a beer is not a whole lot, but and on top of that, my flight was 3 barrel proofs and well, 100 proof basically. So yeah, just to run through them again. So we got 114, what is this? 110.4, and then the B521 is 121. Yeah, so 3 barrel proofs basically and 100 proof. So yeah, nothing was light tonight, but they were good. Well, one was really good, and the others were one was not good. I'm really disappointed in this bottle. Like when I first bought it, I thought I really liked it, and now, Okay, that's what I figured. Because of the higher elevation, I figured that you guys probably got snow in northern Arizona. We actually have some friends that just moved from here to southern Colorado, so not too terribly far from you guys. I don't know what at hand means, but it's probably because my brain's working slow. Yeah, so they're in man, what is that? Southern Colorado. It's like it's a terrorist name. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I ate early tonight. I ate around 5, and now it's 11:48. So even though I ate dinner, I'm sure that's gone. So, kind of feeling it. Well, so real quick, guys, as far as regular bourbons that you would like to see just thrown in there for whiskey of the year. So here, first, let me do this. Okay, yeah. So Lou, you're heading out. Appreciate it, my brother. I thank you so much for coming out, and we are kind of wrapping up here. Just wanted to run through a couple of questions for the group. But thank you for coming out, man. I always appreciate the regulars. You guys are great. I appreciate every week you guys showing up. It means a lot to me. Can't say it enough. Like, you know, when I first started this channel, I never imagined being able to do a live every week and have such an active chat. So this is awesome to me. So thank you guys so much. Now the questions to you guys. Are there bourbons you would like to see thrown in the mix for bourbon of the year? Like, you know, as much as I'd like to throw 101 in there, that's a little bit too common. So things that you've come across this year, things that maybe I have that you'd like to see in the mix. So things that will be coming up for sure. The Maker's Mark FAE-02 will be in there. Okay, Rare Breed. I could throw that in there for sure. I have a really good bottle of Rare Breed that I think will do well. I've already done the Russell's Reserve single barrels. Those fared okay, but not great. Chat 111. Yeah, for sure. 1920. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got a bottle of, I got an old bottle of 1920 and a new bottle of 1920. So we'll work that in there. Let's see here. Also got, trying to think what I have not done yet that's going to be in the mix. And the camera is not focused. Come on, camera. Nope, not going to do it. Okay. Well, you just have to see me out of focus. I got the larceny done. I feel like that's about, so here's what you guys can expect. So let me go through the list that I do have written already. I can pull this out here. So the first round, I had 2 bottles of Puncher's Chance that I went through. So the winner in the first round was A121, which is, of course, an Lodge Creek barrel proof. So that will be in there. And then the other round winner was the Infused Spirits, which is one I was talking about earlier, which has been aged in like 3 different barrels. That was really good. And then round 3, the winner was Maker's Mark Cast Strength 46 Maker's Mark 46 Cast Strength. That was the winner in that. And yeah, okay. Reading my note. I'm trying to look through my notes here. And then, so thoughts on this, guys? I got to highlight this one. Yeah, right, AZ. And the camera just won't focus, so I'm just going to be blurry, I guess. So first and second in the 4th round were 1792 Full Proof, and then Old Ezra 7-year were a very close first and second. In fact, I could interchange those either way. So I'm curious what you guys are more interested in on that front. This camera is pissing me off. I don't understand why it does this so often. I don't feel like I'm moving that much, but it just looks like I'm very far away. But yeah, exactly. Apparently the camera has been drinking way more than I have. So that means so far our winners are A121, Lodge Craig A121, Infused Spirits, the barrel, the one I told you guys about earlier, Maker's 46 Cast Strength, and then it's a toss-up in round 4 between 1792 Full Proof and Old Ezra 7-year. And honestly, I am fine with going either way on that. So Old Ezra 7-year is technically the release of this year, whereas 1792 Full Proof is not. So whichever you guys are more interested in, I am fine with throwing either one of those in for the finals. And then, of course, tonight we had the Larceny B521 winning. So that is what I'm thinking. Those are the options. So you guys let me know, especially on the between the 1792 full proof and the old Ezra 7-year, which you would rather see in the finals. Because as I said, they were both really close. So, well, the issue is, other Sean, is that I'm going to have like at least 6, maybe 7, possibly 8 that I have to narrow it down to. So they can't all make it. Yeah, so just highlighting that. And then rare breed for 52. So I will throw rare breed in there. I'll try and pick my best of the 2 bottles I have. Okay, well that's so there you go. So I'll put the Ezra 7-year if everybody is more interested in that. I'll throw that in there because, as I said, I kind of went back and forth on those 2 for quite a while when I was doing the blind tasting, and I like the 1792 maybe slightly better, but they were so close that I'm fine with either one going in. And I would agree that 1792 full proof is definitely harder to find. So, and also it was not technically a release from this year. So Old Ezra 7-year is, so that probably fits the bill better. So we'll put that in for the end of the year lineup and see how it does. Well, guys, I am going to finish off this bourbon off screen, get some water in me. And thank you guys so much, everybody that came out tonight. It was a great live. I appreciate all the comments as always. Thank you, Dimetron, Hanging AZ, Templar, Still Living in the Woods, Commandante. Who else do we have? We had somebody else in here, it seems like. I'm scrolling up through my chat here. Who else was here? I know there's somebody else here. Anyway, whoever you were. Oh, yeah, ASP3, my neighbor, hanging with us for a little bit. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. I apologize that my camera just decided to not focus for like the last 10 minutes. Apparently, as everyone else has said, the camera is drunker than I am. So, whatever. Maybe next week it will decide to work again. I guess it's had a long night. I'm not sure. Let's see. We can focus on my hand. And there we go. Hey, all right. And we got the camera back. All right, guys. Good night. Enjoy your whiskey. Be safe. And we will see you next week. Take care of each other. Good night, everybody.